Both of us want to go on a vacation and retire.
Separately.
Okay, separately.
इसका एक ही मतलब है कि तू जब मेरे पे चिल्लाती है ना तो सोचना मत कि मैं सुनता नहीं हूँ. मुझे सब मालूम है तू क्या बोल रही है.
So who made the first move?
Obviously.
Yours truly. How can I even answer that after she says that?
Yeah,
I mean, like, really.
you wanted to.
Just
You already lost.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of KYAD Know Your Architect / Designer. We are shooting our 8th episode and we have a really bubbly and fun couple on the couch today. We have the partners and principal architects of Studio Osmosis, Shilpa ma'am and Sameer. And we are going to dive into their story. We also have Sharan Raikangar, who is the director of Luxe Offices. Going to start this podcast by simply asking them, how are you all feeling today?
Calm.
Okay.
I'm quite excited.
Okay. Have you all done a podcast before?
We have.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
I'm on a podcast every day. I'm with her.
Okay, cool. Wanted to understand before we dive into the architectural journey, how did you all guys meet?
Well, it's been a pretty long journey.
Okay.
I think we met, I'm just thinking, counting the years, but...
1996.
Yeah, we met in 1996.
I'll fill in. Don't worry.
Okay.
First year architecture. So we
Okay.
did our undergraduate together and that's where we met, I think almost the first day of college.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. First day of college till now.
No.
Okay.
First day of college, we only met.
Okay.
Oh.
How
And after that?
After that, there was the story begins and etc. etc.
We
But I
want to
think
know that story.
so. I'm a Konkani
Okay.
Okay.
and she's a Marwari Jain.
Okay.
So first of all, that is
Cross.
that's itself is a story within itself.
Okay.
But there were subtle things like when we started college, the first year of architecture, we are together, and there were like small things where we were like put together in the same group,
Okay,
same this.
cute.
Nice.
We were working for NASA, so we used to work for this trophy called Louis Kahn Trophy.
Okay.
So she was part of it. So
Okay.
we would go together to get food and
Aha.
talk. And then she would tell her life story, I would tell her my life stories. And then
Okay.
you're like, okay, we became friends. And not until when she went to the US,
Oh, okay.
that is when we realized that there was something amiss because by
Where were you that time?
I was in India.
Okay.
I had not gone yet.
Okay.
And I mean, back in the day, there was no Instagram, WhatsApp, or anything. The only thing
Pager.
I knew by heart was her phone number
Okay.
and nobody else's phone number, right? So it
Oh.
was very easy for me to just dial the phone number. When she left, I was like, I picked up the phone. I was like, who do I dial this now? Like, what do I do now?
Okay.
What is this?
He's talking about landline days.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we
And
are
pagers.
prehistoric dinosaurs. Of the landline dial-in tones and all those days. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think how we started, and then
So you went to US?
yeah, I mean I followed her. Then I pretty much that is what is happening after all these years.
Not just US, he came to
Okay.
the same university
Yeah, you all
for
did
his
your
masters where I was. And of
Okay.
course, we had a journey that we continued in the US. But I think the good thing was that, the entire Bombay journey before that, we were best friends, we were close friends. There were no any other kind of commitment. So I think
Okay.
you just know each other really, really well. And I think that itself became a really good foundation of whatever we are today.
Nice.
That's nice.
So who made the first move?
Obviously.
Yours truly. It wasn't a move. It was basically an ask.
Okay.
I was like,
Oh.
we'll try.
Okay.
And then there was,
Subtle way.
and she's like, chance ही नहीं है, तू कोंकणी है,
Acha.
होगा ही नहीं. And I was like, who knows? We'll try.
Okay. So you all did your masters in the US and then after that?
We worked there for a few more years in the US. I moved to Boston for my first job.
Okay.
And of course, he came a year after.
Oh, is it?
Oh, so
then-
you followed there as well.
Oh my God.
I told you. I mean, I just made that statement that I followed her to
Wherever
the US,
she
and
went.
after that,
How cute.
That's nice.
it's
Interesting.
not cute.
It is. I mean, it's very rare now in these days.
Yeah. I would say, a little bit of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, a little bit of Dilwale, a little bit of many things.
Hi.
Yeah, now you figured the filmy side of her.
I feel like
No.
you've been following.
See, he is the secret Bollywood guy. I am open about it. So,
Okay. So you all were studying what
Yeah.
in masters?
Masters in architecture.
Okay.
She specialized in healthcare design.
This is in which university we're talking about?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M
Oh.
University.
So I did a course in healthcare design at Texas A&M, and he did his general masters there. And then we both went on to working to firms which had, like I did healthcare, he was doing
Yeah.
residential, commercial.
Mm-hmm.
We worked, and then we moved to Boston,
Okay.
and then we moved back to Houston.
Okay.
Worked there for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
and then we
That's
decided
nice.
to come back to India.
Oh, nice.
So your first job was in Boston.
Yeah.
So that you got through campus selection. Or you
No,
applied?
actually, no. There was nothing like campus selection then.
Okay.
And we had to, I was just literally telling my niece, nephew this yesterday, day before, because they are at this age where they are applying and filling up forms and all that.
Correct.
And I was like, we literally printed out these brochure kind of teasers,
Okay.
and I snail posted them across the US.
Okay.
To I don't even know how many cities. Somebody gave us this idea that, other than email, because emails will just probably go cold,
Right.
something physical where they can look at
Yeah.
would be a great idea. And I think I did
That's
that
actually
That
all
worked.
over. And that is where I got my first call for my first job. The
Oh.
owner of the company was just visiting Texas, and he said, you want to come meet me? And, I just drove to San Antonio. In fact, he drove me. So.
Oh, so वहाँ
Oh
भी
my
मदद की है.
God.
No, मदद काफी जगह की है, but I will not reveal that here. Some things are left buried is better. But yeah, I think it was recession in US at that point of time when she graduated.
Okay.
So, I mean, we were helping each other. I was helping her. We were sending resumes all across.
Okay.
Literally, not a single firm was left unturned. We just used to go to, what was that, Kinko's in US, where to print
Okay.
resume after resumes and then make these CDs, which put it in the post, run to the US post office and send it across.
That's right. Actually,
And
those
just
little
went.
CDs that you used to get, which
Okay.
looked cool then because they were tinier than the bigger CDs.
Yeah, because that's the only way we could send our portfolio. It was through CD.
CD.
Okay.
Now, I mean, and we used to write a letter, print it out, sign it, and post it.
Okay.
Where now people just send on WhatsApp,
Right.
or they just call. Do you have vacancy?
Now it has been like way easier what it was back then.
And like I said, we are dinosaurs, right? We just said, send your resume and your email to us.
But I still think there is a whatever, because
Yeah.
whatever you go through, that professionalism in applying for a
Yes.
job
Right.
shows, your
Yeah.
intent, shows
Your
your,
dedication.
interest,
Yeah.
shows your dedication
Right.
versus DMing and saying,
Yeah.
job, do you have a job? Like,
Yeah, I mean like nowadays people are
Yeah.
like, आप salary क्या दोगे भैया? तो ही हम आते हैं. I have faced these kind of people in my firm also.
No, I think the entire level of professionalism and etiquette has become way too casual right
Yeah.
now.
Right.
And that casualness has become to a level where it's not taken seriously.
True.
When we used to work, or when we got our first job, it was literally a moment of pride that
Correct.
Where were you all working?
so actually we
when,
worked
I
in
mean,
Bombay.
different times.
Okay. No, this currently what you're speaking about.
I'm talking about the first job that I ever
First
did
job,
in India,
okay.
like my first internship.
Okay.
I mean, we never really cared about what
Where
is the
we get,
salary
yeah,
or whatever.
what
It's
would-
like
Yeah.
I am getting the job.
That
if
is
they
more
if they
important.
told me stay, I would just stay, just because
Okay.
I just want to learn as much as I can, and absorb as much as I can, because everything to me is brand new, right? It's like I'm on a job. Wow, this is what happens in real life. It is not
True.
textbook stuff. So I would be like excited over the moon, and that culture that we had, or working for someone to see that firm grow, or be
Right.
part of an organization that is growing, or like how you say, I'll join a startup. I mean,
Yeah.
and grow with the startup, or
Right.
a company that becomes a company,
Right.
or whatever it is, to sort of work with their vision.
Yeah.
I think that essence or that feeling is now kind of a little bit diluted somewhere.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
It's the onus, the liability factor of really meaning to work with
Yeah.
or for someone.
Right.
That essence is sort of getting diluted, and I think it's a kind of a wake up call where we really want that old culture to actually come in.
Yeah,
And
Right.
I think somewhere then the team growth, or someone will say, my uncle would say, "Arey, this guy used to work with me for 20 years," or my mom worked in a bank for 30 years, and I would say, if I can have someone work with me for 2 years,
Yeah.
I'll be
That
That
is
would
also
be-
hats off.
Touch
Yeah,
wood.
yeah, yeah.
It's very difficult now to get people.
Yeah, people just want to switch after
Yeah.
1 year or so. They want to have a switch in the job.
I guess we
nowadays.
diverted a lot. So
Yeah.
from your
I
original
don't know it. But how was your first job like? How was that experience?
Again, I had a lot of firsts because there was a
Okay.
first in Bombay,
Okay.
then there was a first in the US,
Okay.
and then when we came back,
Mm-hmm.
there was another first again after
After you
coming
completed
back
the
also.
US.
Okay.
So I think each one was an experience in
Yeah.
itself,
Okay.
and each one we were still learning. I mean, when I came back, when we came back rather, it was, we were, I mean, I was 30 plus.
Okay.
So you're kind of restarting back in your own country after like a decade,
Right.
and you've obviously had your own experiences there, but you also missed what's happened here.
In the country.
So there is a lot to catch up, and you again want to come back, you want to learn. So I think every first job, that experience was, I think it never changed. It didn't matter
Okay.
whether it was in your 20, 30, whatever. I think that feeling of, okay, now I need to get back,
Yeah.
learn.
Right.
What you're changing is, your role or your
Okay.
people that you're working with. At one point, you were the sort of junior and you wanted to, know more from the
Yeah.
senior. At another point, you were kind of the senior and people were expecting you to give sort of that instruction and
Yeah.
learn and manage, and so I think everywhere you're learning and there is a constant challenge that you're sort of
Right.
facing and dealing with. So it's
How
been
was that
exciting.
experience, the differentiation working over there and in India?
It's pretty different in
Okay.
so many ways. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely when you're in the US, your first job, there's a lot of nervousness because you're part of a really huge setup, first of all. I mean, I was working in a firm which was 200 people.
Wow.
But again, they make you feel comfortable
Okay.
within your team of, say, 20, 25, whatever
Yeah.
that is. So, in spite of being in this huge organization, you
Right.
still have like a role, a mentor to go to, But the difference is that there you probably get a little more time
Okay.
to sink into things. I don't know, there is this pace and a
Right.
scale that you're working with. Whereas when you're working in India,
Yeah.
whether it is us as a boss, what we are expecting, or whether when we were working as a
Junior or a
a
senior,
junior or
yeah.
a
Right.
senior,
Yeah.
you were expected to know your job in 5 days.
Okay.
So, or whatever, I mean, in
Yeah.
5 days, whether you are new or you're old,
Yeah.
the delivery, I mean, the deliverable is expected. So you don't have a choice, which is actually a great thing
Okay.
because you learn so much more on the job, So there you kind of had to maybe ask and grab more opportunities. I think here the plate is yours.
The
It's
culture
up
is
to you to take that step and, sort of take that
Correct.
initiative that, yes, I can do this also, I can do this also.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of, and what we, in terms of like professionalism, in
Right.
terms of documentation, in terms of, I would also say process,
Right.
there was a lot that we learned over there.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
when we came back, we decided that, we should try and use that here with our
Correct.
firm, whether it comes to people management, people skills,
Okay.
Okay.
also like interaction with your own peers.
Right.
Whether it's your peers, whether it's your team. For us, like at Studio Osmosis,
Yeah.
we treat everybody in our firm sort of at an equal level in terms of giving their opinion.
That's really
That
nice.
whether it's an intern or whether it's a senior person, everybody can have an opinion. Everybody should participate in all the phases, and that's something we learned in the US
There.
also.
Correct.
Okay. That's really
That's nice. So you have that set SOPs.
Yes.
They have the set culture over there. I think it was that is the reason a lot of 5 stars and all still have those kind of, they'll first put it everything on paper and then they do the execution.
Yes.
So right from end to end, they put on paper and then you do it. That's what their culture is.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And in India, it's mix of both.
It's-
I can't say it's one way.
You're
it's
always
mix of
trying to do that, but you're
Yeah.
always lagging behind.
Yeah, it's mix of both over here. But that's nice to know that people like you are still there who are doing getting that culture in India. And
We're
setting
trying.
up-
I think it's always a trying process. Whether we've succeeded, whether we've not, I think it's part of the growth. I think
Yeah.
every day, with every team, everyone who joins us, who's not with us, I think the only thing that we can hope is that we've imparted something positive,
Yeah.
and
Right.
wherever they go later on or whatever, there's something about the firm culture that they can transpire across
yeah.
at different levels. And I think that if we have done that and we've succeeded somewhere, that's a good thing. If not, no
Yeah,
matter.
it's okay.
We're always
You're
trying.
always trying. You're
We're
still
always
trying.
trying. We'll
We're
still do
always
that.
learning.
Correct.
I was just touching that point. Your first project till date, how is it working at Studio Osmosis? What's the culture like? How is the team? How do you all handle the Gen Zs? How is Studio Osmosis like?
I think we're still learning how to handle the Gen Zs
Okay.
on a joking note. But no, I think it's been, now that it's been about,
14 years.
How many
we're going to be
years?
15 years.
Oh wow,
uh,
amazing.
Like pretty much, in January. So I think we've had an exciting bunch of people, a lot of talented folks, in fact. And I would say that most of our team has been a younger generation. And there's also a reason I think we end up doing that is because we're always looking for people who have fresh ideas,
Correct.
Okay.
also willing to learn,
Yeah.
exchange of ideas,
Yeah.
being able to make that team effort and that honesty that comes in work. I think that's very important for us. And we're always there to say that we are here.
Okay.
So if there is any doubt, any
Right.
questions, any queries, whatever you have, the idea is that you exchange, you give your opinion, we will give ours, and that is how you make it a team effort,
Correct.
to participate into everything. And we've also had a culture where we've had, I think every year we take on 3-4 interns, maybe more sometimes
Okay.
5-6 who are like in college
Okay.
and just in their last year.
Yeah.
And I think that we really feel is a very, very important experience for
Right.
them, that they get to learn the end-to-end of a practice, the way projects work. And so when they go back, we're only
Right.
hoping that they are better
Yeah.
placed when they go for their first jobs.
Yeah.
So you all taken interns, right? How is their, knowledge when they, in that college phase? Because I feel, I'm not sure, but the subject and how they teach is very different than how it was back in the days. What do you all think about it?
I think it's it's a discussion that can open a box of worms, but I think whatever the challenge is, I'm not going to point fingers at anyone.
Right.
It is up to you as an individual.
Okay.
Now, I am not going to say that it's very easy for me to point fingers and say that okay, I'm not good because you didn't teach me, or you're not good because I didn't learn from you,
Right.
or whatever it is. But the point of the matter is that if you do get a job,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how good you are or bad you are, it is up to you to become what you want to be.
Correct.
Okay.
So, for example, you can be from whichever organization or whichever college you
College.
graduated from. You might not even have aced, or you may not be a star
Yeah.
poster
Right.
child or poster student for that firm or for
Yeah.
that college. Does
Right.
not matter. You can be what you want to be when you join a place that you want to work at.
Right.
And I think that is where the learning really happens.
Okay.
Correct.
And you may fall once, you may fall twice. There, like Shilpa said, you are expected to know everything in 5 days.
Yeah.
It is okay. I mean, that is the point of the internship. I mean, you make mistakes, but the point is also we want to see is that whether you have that passion or that at least that excitement
Yeah.
that
To
I want
learn
to
something
learn.
new.
Do they
It
have
is-
that passion?
You get a mixed bunch. I think sometimes we get some
It's
really amazing
mixed bag.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to deal with a lot of different kind of personality now. I mean, I think the emotional quotient of the students today,
Right.
I think they need to grapple a little more. I think the peer pressure,
Yeah. The
because also
competition.
of the social media around
Right.
and what there's so much unnecessary banter that happens that they
Yeah.
are so bogged down with. I think it's very challenging for
Yeah.
them, for us, for everyone. I think it's when you work together and just try to do good work. Like I think almost all the interns who have worked with us, we've, like Shilpa said, we've put them on live projects and said,
Yeah.
you go and do it.
Oh, is it?
Whether
That's
you,
nice.
Really
Oh, yes.
nice.
whether
fact,
you get,
well-
even if it's a show, it's we did a piece of furniture or a wall.
Yeah.
It's you design it, you get it executed, you see that it is done
Oh.
somewhere or the other.
And
Whether
they
you're part of it
really
or not.
feel, the pride
Of course.
that
That
after they
is,
have
yeah.
made something, done something, and it's
Yeah.
actually built, and it's and obviously everything takes time, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes they get an opportunity where, because they are there with us for 6 months,
Yeah.
there is a chance that whatever they're working on is actually getting built on site in Bombay
Right.
in an exhibition.
Correct.
And when they see it happening, I think you feel really good. So it's
Wow.
something that you cherish for life.
I mean, not a lot of
Yeah.
studios or a lot of architectural firms will give you those kind of an opportunity
kind of leverage.
for an intern, because they have that freedom to design and they have the freedom to execute also.
Yes,
I think that's the fun part. They should take as a happy moment.
definitely.
Yeah,
For
that's
them.
this is
They'll
something
be-
really new
yeah.
I've heard. No architect or any firm has done this. So you'll give them, you'll tell them go on site and see how it is.
Yeah, of course.
design.
They'll see. The point is that they need to know that we are there. So either us or a senior in the firm is always sort of guiding them through it.
Right.
But the fact that if we can see that intern have the initiative of
Right.
taking charge, that's very important. And that doesn't come with every intern. There will be
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
who will probably not be able to take it. So then that's fine. I mean, you have to gauge that in a little period of time, and which is why we don't do short internships.
Okay.
We don't do 2 months, 3 months,
So we
4
do
months
minimum of
also. We
6
do a
months.
minimum of 6 months.
Okay,
That's
so
nice.
they are
Yeah.
with you. And then
Because
they,
it needs to be beneficial for them that they've actually
sure.
seen the end of something
Correct.
at least. I mean, we would have wished that colleges have minimum 1 year internships.
Okay.
I think it would have been brilliant for, learning something which is so practical.
That makes more sense. If we do for 1 year, so they'll see a lot of projects which
sure.
right from start to completion. So they can handle, after this they can go outside in the actual
Right.
world and handle by themselves also.
Exactly.
That
that-
makes a lot more sense.
But doesn't that give you like that kind of hesitation? Okay, this person does not have experience, and you just throw them on the field.
I didn't have experience when I started.
Okay.
And
And
that's
if I
okay,
was
mean.
there when we did, for example, we did our architecture here.
Okay.
Worked for a couple of years. We did our masters, and then I joined a firm in the US.
Okay.
And I didn't know how buildings are built in the US, right? It's a
Okay.
completely different way
Correct.
of construction compared
Right,
to what
right.
we are. But now it's up to me to learn what I want to learn.
Correct.
It's up to me to put that extra effort to learn.
Right.
And when we were in Houston, we were working on, then it was the tallest building, residential tower in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And I was working on it.
Okay.
And I remember I used to go at 5 a.m. because
Wow.
the work culture is 8 to 5.
Okay.
So I would go at 5 because my senior used to come at 5.
Okay.
Oh,
His thing was 5 to 8, I'll do my work because the minute it's 8, the phone starts ringing.
correct.
So I used to go early to learn from him.
Oh,
That's
nice.
And then because of that, instantly within the year, they gave me another project to work on and said, you're doing it solo.
Oh,
And I told my boss
Yeah.
that I can't do it.
okay.
And he said, you don't have to work. You don't have a choice. You're doing it. And if you have any problem, just come to us. That's it. And
Wow.
so now that is what I feel is, when you put in that effort, you see
Yeah.
the rewards. And I think for anyone, whether it is an intern or a fresh, someone who joins new
Yeah.
somewhere or
Right.
whatever
Yeah.
it is, you will get what you grasp.
Right.
Correct.
It's nothing is going to be given to you. When you go and
I
ask, you
mean-
put an extra effort, and then it is automatically you
Yeah,
see the benefits
exactly.
for it.
Yeah.
And there will be mistakes, but
Yeah.
frankly, the firm is there to sort of help you out, cover the
Yeah.
mistakes even sometimes.
Okay.
Even if there is a mistake from our team,
Right.
it is our role to accept it.
Responsibility,
Even sometimes apologize to the client. Why not? And
Right.
that's okay, right?
Oh,
It's part and
that's
parcel.
nice.
Yeah.
But then at least the team is getting to learn on our behalf, and
Yeah.
maybe
That's
when
true.
you go and start off your own practice and firm, nobody is going to be this thing about it. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've made a mistake, it's a huge mistake and it counts.
That's interesting.
Really interesting. First time I've heard, you let freshers to do the sites and all. That's a really good experience. Coming back to both of y'all, how's the duo working in Studio Osmosis? Do you all take up projects together? How's the execution? We want to know it all. Who takes up the
Duo
project?
working. Both of us want to go on a vacation and retire.
Separately.
Okay, separately.
No,
Conditions applied.
I think us working together, it's challenging.
Okay.
I mean, we work together and we are also sitting in the same space.
Right.
Oh.
So we're practically together 24/7, if I may say. But to give myself some time, I look at sites more.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not looking thrilled about it at all. So.
But no, I'm happy. No, but we take on projects together.
Okay.
She's always part of it from the design perspective. Shilpa does our HR and PR for the firm.
Nice.
And so she's pretty much well connected. And if anyone knows what Studio Osmosis is, it's Shilpa, not Sameer.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much in the background. I work with the cement and the plaster and the POP and yeah.
All the dirty things.
Is this
Yeah.
true?
No, that is true.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah. So I leave my site visits for like once a month. If
Okay.
he's going there every week, I'll go once a month. So I'm the client in between the client.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, okay, we need to do more detailing on this or more detailing on that,
Yeah.
or change the design a little bit like this and change the design. So I actually keep plugging in, plugging out
Okay.
in the entire process of the project, and then sort of we together bring it holistically together
Okay.
in the end. So that's
she's involved in different phases of the project, like more conceptualization,
Okay.
material selection,
Planning.
overall planning.
Okay.
Okay.
And then she's like, "Tumko jo karna hai, kar lo."
You're the execution part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make sure that it's done.
Yeah.
yeah. And then of course, I mean, I do a lot of client selections, if it's material selections, furniture,
Right.
upholstery, colors. There's so much
So
actually.
you're also on the run, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So I
have
mean, because even though we work on the same projects, you still have to
Right.
divide tasks, right?
Exactly.
You can't,
So how do you all divide that? So you take.
frankly, it's very organic.
Okay.
We don't decide that. Sometimes a client has comfort with me for a certain
Right.
thing, a client has comfort with him for a certain thing.
Yeah.
They may sometimes want both our opinions on certain things.
Correct.
So I think sometimes it's really just the relationship with the client, and
Okay.
even within the client, like if it's a home, you
Right.
have 5 clients in a house.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's true.
there is also a individual dynamic,
Right.
which he may share with one of the client, I may share with another. So sometimes it's gender that plays the role. Sometimes it's the relationship within the family that plays the role. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that we have to look at, and it's just very organic. So we don't necessarily plan it ki haan
Okay.
ye karenge.
He's
It
giving
just
you
sort
that
of
look.
flows.
So
You're
the roles are
giving her
not
the look.
divided. It's an unsaid rule between you two.
Yeah.
I
But on a more conceptual level, like he said,
Yeah.
the detailed execution process, the
That is
costing,
Okay.
especially, like I don't look into costing much. So he'll be the one looking
finance
into the
part
costing.
is-
Yeah. So that's, yeah. So although I'm the Marwadi,
Yeah,
money
that is what I was
his.
coming
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, this role should have been reversed.
I thought that was how it would be
Yeah.
when I would have got married to her, but
Yeah.
then I realized,
नहीं, ये अपने को ही देखना पड़ेगा.
yeah, you make mistakes, you learn from it.
I mean, yeah, so money matters, not me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
That's nice.
in
So,
terms, yeah.
so coming to that point of client meetings and
Yeah.
all. So do you have some set SOPs when a client comes to you?
Yes,
So
we
you
do.
have- so can
We
you
do. Over the years,
elaborate?
we've kind of made a very, a very outlined process.
Okay.
We have made a very detailed proposal that we give our guidelines for. We've made a very detailed questionnaire that we share with the client.
Okay.
Before the client even meets us, I have a personal half-an-hour conversation with most of the clients on the phone first
Wow.
Okay.
to sort of let them understand
Yeah.
how we work.
I mean,
Are
as a
you part of
process,
this?
she does the client talk first, not me.
Okay, not you.
Okay.
Because
So, yeah, I
if I
mean,
do, then
Then
We may lose the client.
not true, but
okay.
Just joking.
basically it's the way. See, there is every person. Everyone has a certain personality of
Correct.
what you talk, right? And
Right.
how you talk and make that person comfortable.
True.
I think
Okay.
between both of us,
She's the one.
no, she is.
Actually, we plug in, plug
She
out
is
very well.
on a particular path, and she knows what to ask at what time. I
Okay.
stray.
Oh.
I will make a conversation and I'll suddenly
I'll
see her
diverge.
slip and I'll go somewhere else and the conversation will head something else, nothing over the top project. And then Shilpa is like, उठ के फैमिली में कितने लोग हैं घर में फैमिली पूछा नहीं ये तो नहीं पूछा but you had a 45-minute conversation. What does the client
So,
do?
so
I
I'm
said,
going to keep this
मैंने पूछा ही
recording
नहीं.
because it's the first time on a public forum he has
Revealed himself.
yes, I agree that I do this.
So now, I mean, in recent times, and I think I've told that if there's any call, if someone calls me, I said, yeah, I'll just pass on this. I'm really tied up right now. I'll pass it on to
Okay.
Shilpa. She'll answer.
So she takes care of the client first call.
The whole point is that talk for us and for me,
Yeah.
it's very important because
Right.
you are gauging whether they like your process,
Correct.
whether
Yeah.
because it's all about comfort.
Yeah.
And you're going to be spending an entire year with them on the basis of these first 2-3 meetings.
Correct.
Right.
So it's also important for them and it's also important for us.
True.
I mean,
For
you know,
sure.
as much as they check out 10 architects, we
We
also need
check
to
out the client.
Yeah.
say कि हाँ ये हमारा client is going to be an enjoyable process for us, for everybody, you know. So
True.
what they are looking for
Right.
is very important to us. So the more you sort of ask them questions, you understand their personality, their lifestyle. Just I
Yeah.
think it's more about how you go on a speed dating process. I mean, what you ask a stranger, right? And
Right.
so you're just having these little conversations to know that am I ready to go on the next date or not?
Yeah.
So true.
So it's pretty much that. It's
Cool.
That's nice. So these are like kind of set SOPs.
yeah. So these are certain protocols that we keep it very casual and official, but we also
Correct.
have proper documentation. Stuff that we send out to the client, so that once all of that is through,
Okay.
and then we've cleaned, all those things are sort of, what do you say, the hurdle is over, and then
Right.
you start off afresh as a relationship, which is going to go on for a while.
Yeah.
That's true, because I think a lot of architects have told us that if you don't ask them questions initially, then you're gonna go haywire. I
Yeah.
mean, like you should know like the likes, the dislikes, and everything.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So so you can think, okay, what they want to be delivered from you guys.
No,
So
so
we-
we have prepared, and I think you're going to say the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That we have prepared a questionnaire
Yeah.
after we
Okay.
get the project that we send out.
Okay.
I mean, something simple as, do you even keep a bottle of water next to your bedside before when you go to sleep?
Is it?
It's very
Because-
tiny. Do you use a matka? Do you?
Because then I know that I can't give you a surface below that, because in case if you spill the bottle, then
Yeah.
what will happen to
Okay.
that surface, right? So then I know what I need to deliver to that particular client.
I mean, that's very minute detail, right?
we keep elaborating it
like,
year on year
Year
on
on
year.
year, how many shoes do you have? Because I realize people are going mad after shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's exactly right. I mean,
Yeah.
earlier it would be purses. Now the
Now
client will say,
shoes.
Now
"दो
it's
पर्स बस
shoes.
बस 20 shoes तो होने चाहिए."
20
Yeah.
shoes per day.
So over the years, these are the small questions that we want to ask because the space requirement changes.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
The way you live, the way you are, and a simple question is, we also ask is, what do you aspire to be? Because
Wow.
when you're doing up your home,
Yeah.
it's like doing up your complete wardrobe, right? So it's like when you go shopping for a dress, is you try it on because you aspire to look better.
Right.
You're changing your wardrobe to be something
Better.
new, someone
Yeah.
different.
Okay.
You bought that pair of shoe because it gives you confidence.
True.
Similarly, I think when you do a home, you may be living in a certain particular way,
Yeah.
but doing up your own new home
Right.
is also an aspiration of what I want to be, of what
Interesting.
my outlook will be.
Correct.
It's my outlook change. I mean, am I going to continue the way I was living earlier? Then why do you want to change your house anyway in the first
Right.
place?
True.
But now that you bought this house, now that where you come, where do you see yourself in this house? Of what is your portrayal? You will probably change your personality.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is your personality?
I know,
So
or-
we get into that nitty gritty.
Yeah, I know.
What is your
Sometimes
personality
it's
as a
also
person?
like, one is this sort of a thing, and the other is where we try to understand that, are they all about just kind of being at peace, being
Yeah.
calm,
Right.
just finding their home to be their Zen space. It's
Yeah.
my cutoff from the rest of the world. So that's a very different approach. If the client tells me that, then I understand what they are looking for. It's like a sanctuary. It is not necessarily a place to entertain people, to, you know, invite guests. It's just their place where I'm done with partying, work, everything, and my home is my
Peace
sort of
place.
getaway. So then the entire approach to design is very different. So, which is why, like, we have this whole process and philosophy of story listening and storytelling.
Correct.
So, you know, it's very important to listen to the client, because that is where that conversation is. And then in these first few meetings, and then you're sort of translating it with your own versions.
And that is when we realized that the concept for any home or the outlook of the home is because of the way your personality is. And that's when the home becomes a home. Otherwise, it's just another hotel.
It's just a hotel.
Like you can go to a 5-star hotel and feel like, yeah, this is the house, this is the place, man.
Correct.
The bed is soft. I love this place. But then would you stay there for a year? No, right? After 2 days, you'll be like, dal chawal is better, right? I mean, that's where I want to go. So the point is, if we make spaces which sort of resonate with your character, and that character can be anything and anyone, and if we can sort of reciprocate with that, and that I think in our mantra or the philosophy that we have is that we can sort of then go beyond just designing just for designing, but it's also because we're creating a home or a space or a workplace or a commercial restaurant, whatever you call it. It's basically towards that end factor. Who are we catering that to? And that is beyond whatever you want to do.
Okay.
That's nice.
Nice. I and Sharan sir were discussing. I got your design philosophy, very minimal, clean lines. But want to understand from your perspective, what is your design philosophy?
I don't have a design philosophy. I think I am me. I'm very confused as a person. I'm very. I think I'm probably like Shilpa will say. You're just everywhere. You're never at one place. And I think that, and I'm very. It's sometimes if I like something, then it's very difficult for me to get off it. But most of the times I'm like, हाँ ठीक है. It's flexible. We'll figure it out. Kuch hoega. So from a design philosophy, I like to experiment a lot sometimes. That's nice. And I'm guilty of spending too much time on one area when I'm not supposed to. Or look at some other areas where I have to be either nudged or sometimes slapped and say, "Kya? What is happening?" And it's not necessary. It is only from her. It is also from my team. My team will say, "Sir, what are you doing?"
Bas ho gaya.
Why?
Why I'm asking this, because how do you all arrive to conclusions for a particular client? For example, you like, the minimalistic, the clean lines and all. So
I think that answer is pretty much what we said before this. Is that we don't necessarily put our choices of colors or design or whatever. I mean, I like this shoe, but my client may not. So that doesn't mean I'm going to tell him that, everything needs to be colorful, right? If I understand that their taste and where they come from is going to be the soothing, or they would like the monochromatic, or they would love a warmer tone, because that is what I understand in their personality, then that is how we discuss about the concepts, about the design ideas, and that is what we put together.
For example, I'll tell you this is a very recent, and this will be fun if so this was for a project where we were doing this really like zen, something different, out of the box. Like me being me, like I'll be like, कुछ आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स करते हैं, फसाड वाला कुछ तो इंटीरियर में लेके आते हैं, कुछ तो करेंगे, सब डिजाइन किया, सब कंसेप्ट बनाया. देन शिल्पा कम्स एंड सेज, बॉस, द क्लाइंट will want something really loud and something this will not work. इसमें थोड़ा ग्लैम डालो वरना नहीं चलेगा. मैं नहीं, ये ग्लैम दिख रहा ना, तुझे दिख रहा है ग्लैम? अरे लाइट है, ये देख ग्लैम हो रहा है, यहाँ से कोब लाइट आ रहा है, ग्लैम. इट्स लाइक नहीं, इसको और करना पड़ेगा, नहीं होगा. And the next, after some time, the client came and said, our partner said, कि इसमें थोड़ा glam चाहिए.
Oh my God, shit.
Like I said, I become the client before the client. So.
Yeah, because you can convince the client.
So both of us, I mean, how it works for both of us is that when we put the design out, there are some times where I mean, she'll let me do what I want first, but then
Okay.
she will say that this will not work, change this.
Okay.
And even if you try to fight it, it will not happen because what she says happens.
She's always right.
She's always
Yeah, of course, without a doubt.
No, I mean, with due, I've realized that she's always right is separate. There are two parts of she's always right. She's always right is the first part of it.
Yeah.
But
And
the second part is that because she's sort of, she knows what the client wants from
Correct.
a different perspective because both of us try to put ourselves in other person's shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important when
Yeah.
you don't think from a
The
design
client's
perspective,
perspective.
you think from your perspective.
Correct.
Right.
Would you do this?
Exactly.
Would I do this if I had to do this? And you would say no, right? I don't want to do this. Then why would I want to give it to the client to do this?
Right.
And very two different things.
Correct.
How do you handle client requests? You know, some clients come up with this Pinterest image and maybe like, Shilpa, Sameer, मेरे को यही चाहिए, करना ही है. So how do you all handle those requests?
We
Karo.
take those Pinterest images.
Karo.
There's no objections.
No, it's not an objection.
That's what they like.
No, it's not what they like. I think again, what has happened is this. How do I put it? I mean, you are seeing. Okay, let me put it this way. If you go Ranveer Singh or
Right.
Shah Rukh Khan
Yeah.
and whatever they wear or they aspire to be, would
Right.
you'll see the photo in Pinterest and say, I want this to look put on me. Will I look that? Would I be Ranveer Singh or Shah Rukh Khan if I dressed like Ranveer Singh or Shah Rukh Khan? No, right? So it's predominantly the appearance of something else that you aspire to be, which is
Right.
not you.
Correct.
Okay.
So our point is that if you like this particular image of Pinterest, which is
Right.
fine, what about this image do you like? Is it the style? Is
Okay.
it the color? Is it the texture? Is it the lighting? What of it?
Okay.
Then you can do it over here. And pretty much most of the things that you see on Pinterest or
Right.
whatever are either renders, high quality renders
Yeah.
that are done by international people,
Right.
firm, designers, whatever, and some really good product as well. There's a lot to learn from there, but at the same time, not everything can be just adapted here.
Replicated,
Yeah.
What is done is not for our environment, not for our culture. And slowly what is happening is this whole, we are losing that culture touch because of
Right.
that. It is just an imitation versus whether will it really work, whether it
Yeah.
will work in our environment, our humidity, our blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, we take those
Yeah.
images. That's
Yeah.
fine. In fact, like I said, that we actually have one of the in our process booklet, we have one of the lines. Please send us all the images at the beginning.
Okay.
Make a folder if you want to. We'll
Okay.
understand what you like about those images. Fair enough. See, for a layperson, it's very difficult to explain
Right.
what it's. The words are very confusing. What is
Yeah.
modern? What is contemporary? What is Art Deco? What is whatever, right?
Right.
Correct.
They just know that when they see it at somebody's house or in an
Yeah.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that in this one's house. What about it?
We
We don't know. Does it fit your house? Maybe
Don't
not.
know, yeah.
Does it fit the scale? Maybe not.
Right.
So, same thing for a restaurant. You may like a restaurant because there is a certain lighting, certain mood, but maybe that's catering to a cafe.
Right.
If I'm opening a fine dine, it may not work because
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
not a cafe. You're not serving, small portions of food on a
Right.
small table. You need to
Correct.
have large plating. So,
Yeah.
Correct.
these are things that we have to slowly educate them, make them aware that you
Right.
let us know what you like about these images, which we kind of ask them right at the beginning, just to
Okay.
understand their taste and style,
Okay.
and also kind of give them a sense of budget.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's
I mean, if you're loving the
Yeah.
house which is made by XYZ, which is costing
Right.
X rupees per square foot,
Yeah.
are we willing to spend that kind of money? Brilliant.
Okay.
Correct.
So, I think it's a matter of having very open, honest conversations and educating and
Right.
saying no, 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 yes, yes, no.
Yeah,
no,
how do
no,
you
no.
say that no? Because sometimes it's very difficult to tell your client, no, we cannot do this. Look at other options because their mind is still stuck on that image. So how do you all convince them?
I think now with it, like you said, it was not always easy.
Yeah.
With time, with patience.
Patience.
Yeah, a lot of
Now you
patience
know.
is
It's an
required.
everyday battle. There are some battles you win, there are some battles
Yeah.
you use, there are some battles that go draw.
Yeah.
0-0.
And as
So I think
designers,
it's just part and parcel of a life now. I mean, information is too much.
Right.
There's an overload of information. You can't help it. You'll go to a doctor, the doctor will say, Dololo, you have a fever. You will say, why? I can't take Crocin.
Yeah,
वो Instagram पे तो Crocin बोला था.
Correct.
So similarly, I mean, any one, if it's any service provider, consultant, specialist,
Yeah.
I mean, if you go for surgery, you will not take one opinion, you will take 10 opinions.
Correct.
So how are we any different, right? I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
designer. So if you want to work with me, you're going to take not my opinion, you're going to take 10 other opinions.
Right.
True.
Now we have to live with that 10 opinion and come over the fact that yes, we can deliver something which is better.
Correct.
Okay.
The point eventually does not matter whether you throw a Pinterest image at us or whatever it is or a process. The most important factor is trust.
Okay.
True.
If you trust, everything else just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have trust, even a Pinterest image will not work.
That's very
Correct.
true. Yeah.
It is the process that you have to trust. Then everything just falls in its own place. And I think that is what is more important.
Yeah, yeah.
It is not about
Like
the-
he said, you're building a relationship.
Right.
First month, second month, third month. By the end of that period of time,
Yeah.
that relationship
Bonding
is
in the
built.
relationship is
Right.
And then if you say something with a conviction,
Yeah.
your client also believes you and
yeah, I
trusts
think
you.
by the end of the third, fourth month, if you say no, it is no. मत करो.
Yeah.
ठीक है,
stop
आप बोल
it
रहे हो
there.
तो नहीं करेंगे.
Yeah. So I think it's
So
important to
it's the trust. We have to consciously build the trust. Trust, कभी-कभी trust होता है, कभी नहीं होता है. It takes 6 months, sometimes it takes a little longer. But
Yeah.
towards the
Correct.
end of it, when you look at the whole process, everyone realizes that we got this done. And I think that is the moment of, clairvoyance. You're just like,
So guys, moving on to the next segment known as Whisper Challenge.
Okay.
So this will be done between this duo couple what we are hosting today. So the Whisper Challenge is all about one will wear the headphones and one will mimic some words and you have to lip read it.
oh.
Yeah.
words, like
Yeah.
any normal words.
We will give you some
Architecture
words,
Okay.
something related to architecture,
Yeah.
and you have to lip read and say it loud.
एक word Pinterest है, देख लेना.
So let's
Sure.
Just make sure you don't say things which are censored.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
won't say them.
Who is going first?
you.
He'll wear the headphones.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So the words will be given to you.
So let's start.
Yeah. Start.
Start.
First
Okay.
word.
First word.
क्या?
Start करें.
अरे हाँ करो
तो
ना.
अभी first word by ma'am.
और इसने म्यूजिक भी लगाया ना, मेरे उम्र के लोग म्यूजिक लगाया, देखा?
अच्छा
Full he went back to 2000.
अरे किशोर कुमार
परफेक्ट नहीं, बैकस्ट्रीट बॉयज ब्रो.
क्या बात है.
मतलब मैं स्कूल में था तभी सुनता था, वही है मेरे उम्र वाले गाने लगाए. मैं बोला ये तो एकदम दादाजी बैडमिंटन बना दिया मुझे.
Okay, I am winning this game because he
You
has
have to
out of
cover
focus.
this, huh? You have to cover it. Don't show him.
Don't show him the
Okay.
words.
First word.
First word. First word.
Look.
Facade.
You can say it out
Facade.
loud.
Oh, nah. Second one.
Second.
Maximalist.
Maximalist.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
Is there music?
Yeah,
ready?
is the music on? I mean, like, even I have a doubt right now.
Traditional.
Traditional.
Wow.
I mean,
You're the.
Can you reduce the volume? It's too loud.
But you're guessing it.
you're guessing it right. I mean,
Am I saying it so well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're actually saying it really well.
रुको.
एक तो ये
Time,
साउंड
please.
कैंसलेशन ऐसे कान के अंदर ऐसे वैक्यूम बन गया. Okay, fine.
So 3 right.
3 right,
You have
yeah.
to beat that, huh?
Yeah. It's
yeah.
up to you. You have to beat it.
I can't.
Next one.
Rustic.
Rustic.
Is the music on?
I mean, like, we don't feel like is the music on.
How are you guessing it?
How?
How?
Okay.
Okay, there.
Try something else, Just
Okay.
say a different word from that. Something else.
Something else, whatever
What
comes
is
to
it?
your mind. Whatever comes to your mind.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Wow.
No way.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
Vintage.
What?
yeah.
Vintage. Vintage.
What?
Vintage.
Vintage.
No,
Oh
okay,
my
nice.
god.
Moroccan.
Moroccan.
I
No
mean, hands
way.
down.
Hands down, really?
Done.
Really?
I'm
It's
not
done.
even. I'm not even playing the game.
No, I
You
mean
got
like,
all 6.
That's it. Over.
Yeah, done.
it's done.
It's done.
Yeah,
Done.
Are you pakka?
Paka. I mean, you said everything so
Damn.
right.
You are the first one
You are the
who's got
first
all
one.
the words.
Some credit to my
Yeah,
lip
for
reading.
sure.
Lip. Oh.
You won.
Kudos to him.
शिल्पा इसका एक ही मतलब है कि तू जब मेरे पे चिल्लाती है ना तो सोचना मत कि मैं सुनता नहीं हूँ मुझे सब मालूम है तू क्या बोल रही है
कान में म्यूजिक है तो भी सुनाई सब दे रहा
वो
है.
हर बार यही बोलती है you don't listen to me only but I know what you're talking.
I'm talking Moroccan.
Cool. Now, ma'am,
So
your
long.
turn.
Oh God, I'm not playing this. I should have gone
भाई शाहरुख
first.
खान के गाने बजाना सिर्फ इसको
Yeah,
मेरे लिए बैकस्ट्रीट बॉयज के सब बजा के
It is really loud.
yeah.
this is it was like I have hearing problem right now.
What? What?
Hi Shilpa, can you hear me?
No, she can't.
What? You said one word or 5 words?
I never started.
Huh.
Pattern.
Patio.
Pattern.
Again.
Pattern.
Per something.
Pattern.
Say again. Pattern.
Nice.
Wallpaper.
Foil paper.
Close.
Close.
Wallpaper. Wallpaper. मेरी माँ ये दूसरे भी अटक गई है यार.
Last time, so then go to the next.
हाँ.
ये रिंग है ना उठा के लेके दे दूंगा वापस. आज ही डिवोर्स होना है तेरे साथ. Wallpaper.
Paper. Wallpaper.
Nice. He's some
अब जैसे रिंग का वास्ता दिया है.
Wall and fall. Foil. Wall.
It is not a foil and wall. Foil.
Okay.
Foil. Wall.
Next, the song is very distracting. Yeah.
Imagine what he put me through. Industrial.
Talk normally. No.
Can we just cut it at one?
Go
I don't
Okay,
want to go
next.
through this.
Next.
Industrial.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
wow. She got it,
I
huh?
think you have to do
You
that.
now it's tough. She got all 3.
Urban.
Wait, first I'll do a Shah Rukh dance. Like this is song is playing.
Urban.
Hmm?
Urban.
Urban.
Nice.
Nice.
Urban.
Plush.
Guess the song.
cushions.
Next.
Game ulta ho gaya. Now you guess the song.
Now you guess the song.
Without her miming also.
You want to change the game? Guess the song.
You just say.
Plush cushions.
Blush or blush?
Plush cushions.
Cushions.
Okay, this song is very distracting.
That's the whole point. You can't hear me.
Can you hear the song?
No, I don't want to. Plush cushions.
Blush, kucha, blush, blush.
Chuck it.
Okay.
2 words. Boho chic. Boho chic.
Monchic.
Boho.
Boho chic.
Nice.
Okay, now do the previous one.
The
Or
previous
last
one.
one.
Plush. Cushions.
Plush clish.
Cushions. Cushions.
Forget it.
हो गया निकालो plush cushions
Arey, yaar, I kept thinking plush kitchens. I'm like, why will they
But
say
still,
plush
he
kitchens?
won. I mean, like 1.
5, 6.
I mean, close.
it clearly shows that I don't talk at all at home how will she know what I'm talking
Obviously.
but
You
that
only
the
was,
listen.
first time in 20 years she's like ये क्या बात कर रहा है
but that was fantastic. How he got all right. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
credit.
I mean, credits to you.
So now we had some fun, but now we want to understand a project that is close to your heart. I mean, you all have, every project is a baby to you all, of course, but what is that one particular project that has, shaped you, and, that success and the joy of that project is still in your mind? We'll start with you, ma'am.
So we did this restaurant, which was going to be a new concept.
Okay.
By the owner also, the one who was starting the restaurant, was somebody we knew through, he was actually a chef, and he decided that he wants to start his own baby.
Okay.
And so it was something that he was very, very passionate about. And, we obviously, because we knew him as a chef, we had a lot of different conversations with him. So we individually knew him as a person also pretty well. We connected very well. And so he had this idea of creating a restaurant, which eventually became a project for us in Ahmedabad.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
And it was called Mill House.
Okay.
And so the whole idea of that restaurant was he wanted to do a concept restaurant with fresh food, local stuff, bring in the fresh ingredients, and even the entire look of the restaurant was supposed to be with that same sort of honesty that he's going to sort of get into his ingredients. So I think the fact that he was so passionate about his, food,
Right.
this thing, he was really just trusting on us for the entire design concept. And he said that I just completely leave it to y'all. This is what my this thing is. And then we were supposed to come up with this whole idea of it is going to be in Ahmedabad. The fact that it was going to be in Ahmedabad, it is going to be a non-alcoholic place.
Correct.
We are going to start with food being the focus, the place being the focus. So I think that, and then us bringing the entire honesty of materials, the fact that it's Ahmedabad, we try to use brick, IPS, raw materials, which were kind
The
of bringing in
local
the Ahmedabad bandhani,
Yeah.
the artwork. So all of that in a very sort of contemporary way,
Okay.
Yeah.
because he wanted to make it a global restaurant.
Okay.
He was like, the same kind of idea could also be sort of tomorrow, if I do this in New
Replicated
York,
to
it
other
should
places.
work. Or if I do it in Bombay, it should work. So it's not that it has to be, even though it has the local, this thing of
Touch,
Ahmedabad,
yeah.
it should not be that, I can only build it here.
Okay.
So the idea was that even though it was local,
Yeah.
it was going to be global. So I think taking that sort of a brief and turning it into a space was very exciting for us. And what turned out, of course, the client was very happy. We were very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of pretty favorite project for us.
No, when did you do this? In what year?
Gonna remember the year, but it's been probably pre-COVID.
Oh.
2016 2017 sorry.
Yeah, and then we went on to do two more of those later, like one in Pune. But of course, the look was different, the concept was same. So we kept the, similar theme, but we kind of changed the entire thing because it's in a different location.
Right.
Okay. Nice.
So what was the major challenge in that project? Did you face any challenge while executing?
I think that one of the challenges was that
The
you're
design.
not going to have a bar, but
Okay.
in the design we had a bar.
Oh.
Oh.
So
That's
like
interesting.
so we had designed it because it was going to be one of those places where you want to come, they will make nice fresh drinks,
Okay.
and people are going to come, and you're in Ahmedabad, you want to feel like when you go to a
Yeah.
restaurant for a lunch or a dinner, you're still being served like a nice glass of drink. So
Oh.
so the vibe had to be
Correct.
of a place which kind of
Serves,
is chilling you, putting you in that mood. It didn't
Okay.
have to कि भाई यहाँ सिर्फ खाना मिलता है.
Correct.
So, you walk in, you dress up, you go get a nice glass of drink, which is a mocktail.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the casualness and the bar was there, but obviously it was not going to serve any cocktails.
Oh,
So
very
I think that was a very interesting aspect. And so we had to create the bar, the lighting, the mood in that sense. And also it was in a mall.
Okay.
So we had to make sure that the walk-ins come in. So it had a part facade. So there were these bunch of interesting things which were unique to the site itself.
Correct.
Oh, nice. And for you, sir?
I think it's very difficult to point out, one project or one out of the many that we've done as this was been the part that shaped our career or our life. I think, but I think more than, I think every project there is some part of it that really sticks on to you.
Right.
And I think working with the most I have learned personally working with all our clients on site is the kind of attention that they give to which sometimes because it's part of our work, we just take it in a stride. But it's just amazing how they look at it in so much detail.
Yeah.
Which probably we wouldn't think of. And I think that, there has been so many mistakes that we've made in some project here, some project there, some issue here, some issue there. And I have learned from my clients, they've always told me how I can improve, which area I can improve. And that for me is really, something very humbling, where it's not necessary that we end on a good note everywhere. You're not going to make friends everywhere. You're not,
For sure.
anything is going to be a happy ending everywhere kind of situation. We imagine everything to be a dream project.
Yeah.
But I think our life, the projects that we are doing, every project we've learned so much.
Right.
What we should do, what we shouldn't do, which kind of clients to work with, which kind of clients to not work with, or how we can improve. And there are so many instances where I would just want to sit with my client because I think it's just amazing just to hear how they work in their field of work and what we can gain from them.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But it could be, for me, it is not I learned from contractor, from vendor, from everyone. And I think everyone's opinion really matters a lot. And I think asking a question, why and how can we do better?
Correct.
I think that just shapes my life.
That's very true.
I think that's one thing that's been, it's been a blessing for us that people we have connected with 15 years back or 18 years back when we moved back from the US.
Yeah.
And even the people we connected in the first 2-3 years, we still get calls from people during that time, whether it could be just a contact from a client, a vendor, a contractor, somebody that we worked with, a teammate, a colleague, anybody in our field. And I think that is what is more than gratifying. Like even for that matter, our staff, like somebody who's worked with us maybe 10 years ago, and even if today they'll send you a message that this project is looking great or whatever, what they are doing, just sharing that sort of a thing that this is what I learned here and this is what I'm doing. I think those little things also
Matters
is what
a
you're
lot.
sort of learning every day. And the fact that sometimes we have a client call after 10 years who wants to either, take a new house, do it again, or is opening an office, or is opening a restaurant and remembers that his last experience was good. And so the repeat client, I think that is what matters, right? Because in the end, I think it's word of mouth. There is Instagram, there is social media.
I was just coming to that,
It is amazing. It's great to put your reach, but for us, Touchwood, I think the referral, whether it is from somebody we know or a client that we have worked with or somebody that we haven't worked with also, but has crossed paths with us and for some reason they couldn't work with. We've even had those people recommend our name to somebody else. Like even though I didn't get to work with them for XYZ reason, but we think they'll be a great fit. So I think those are the things that really matter in the end.
Do you believe in, like you said, word of mouth has been a best for you, but do you believe in social media that you have to put your projects out there, ki dikhna chahiye?
It's like you're saying, it is part and parcel. That is the way forward, and there is you can't ignore it. You might not want to be there, but you have to be there. You have to go with the tide. We're not very good at it. Obviously, I can't do, have you seen this yet? Or, क्या आपने marble लगाया? Well, I can't do all that.
You're doing it right now and it's fantastic.
I can do that, but I just can't buy myself to do it.
Correct.
for social media. I mean, if you want me to just get 2 laughs, I would do it. But from social media perspective, I think we're still trying to
Cope
find
up.
Yeah.
what we are for social media really. I mean, I am not, I mean, it's different, right? There are times when you really want to be on social media and say,
Yeah.
I had coffee today, yay!
Yeah.
And this is fresh, really love it, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't want to be there and do that. I mean, I think I'm enjoying my coffee and I love my coffee. I don't want the world to tell, to
Right.
say.
Correct.
But when it comes to work, unfortunately, you have to be out there
Okay.
and you have to be part of the social media. But the point is that let the social media, you be on social media so people see you. You don't be on social media so much that you're just looking at other people, what they are doing, where it starts affecting you and bothering you.
True.
I think
it's just
see, like
find
just
the
like
right balance.
everything about technology has its positive and its negative.
Right.
True.
And if we have to be there, you might as well try and take the positive in your stride, because it
Okay.
is maybe 1 out of 1,000 people will
Right.
see the project somewhere, give
Yeah.
you a call, connect,
Yeah.
and probably have no connection with you.
Right.
So it may not be your 80% of the chunk, but to get to that 20% and making that 20 to 30
Yeah.
or whatever,
Right.
I think it's fair enough. I think for us, we've realized that we have to do it in a way where it's just honestly us.
Okay.
And and that's important,
Yeah.
because
Right.
if you do something that's not you,
Yeah.
you can only put it out for that much time,
That's true.
and that's just not us. So
So
I
you all
think
don't believe in following the trend.
No, I
not
mean,
really,
we've not really
because
found out what we really want to do on social media yet.
Okay.
So we are
I
like,
think by the time we see a trend and figure it out and maybe even think about it, the trend is
Trend
over and
is
it's already
over.
passed out. So
There's always a new trend.
I mean, you definitely don't want to be, at least we don't want to be in the trend following thing, because we're not that quick.
Okay.
We'll take our time to figure out how we want to do something and, make it happen. So I think it's okay. I mean, we do it at our pace.
Okay.
We may have a little bit more action sometimes on social media. Sometimes we have a little
Yeah.
ebbs and,
Right.
highs and lows. And I think it's okay. I mean, as long as it's there, it's not going anywhere.
Coming back to, I wanted to understand what kind of scale y'all are looking at. What was that first scale that y'all handled, that first project? Until now, what scale y'all are doing in terms of projects?
the first project we did was 300 square feet of retail showroom that
Okay.
we worked on.
Okay.
Now we are doing 60,000-70,000 square feet
Oh.
projects.
So,
larger
like for
ones.
us, actually, scale is not, a criteria for
Okay.
mostly anything. I mean, from having done like hospitals
Right.
of 40, 50,000 to a mall of 1 lakh square feet, to even a studio apartment that
Right.
turned out brilliant in Bandra,
Okay.
which was only like
450 square feet.
450 square feet.
Oh.
And it actually, like, people loved it. Like, I still have interns messaging me about, because they
Wow.
want to do a case study on their house. So
Okay.
it's so much not about scale. It is
Okay.
about, I think, how you can sort of interpret design and the brief and what you're kind of giving back to that space.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, I mean, see, when you're working on a bigger scale, you really have to change your process of work
True.
For
versus when you're working on a smaller scale. When we worked in the US, our
Right.
projects were 200,000 square feet. I mean,
Oh.
so that is a very different scale
Yeah.
from what we've ever done in India. So
Right.
I think, the big or the small, like getting
Yeah.
from macro to micro and then back to vice versa, you have to be able to
Right.
sort of switch yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. And not just scale, but even genres.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to be versatile about each project. I mean, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
from small to big. Big
Like
to
an office
small,
project
yeah.
has a very different demand
Right.
from a restaurant to a house
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
a retail space, what the client is looking
and we
for.
are doing all 4 of them at the same time right
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it?
now. Yeah.
How are you
we're
handling
doing
that?
an office which we just finished.
Okay.
We are doing a restaurant which we just started. We finished another restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing residences. We are doing a retail space.
Why I'm asking this question is because people have this myth in their mind that architects and interior designers are only for big budget clients. So what is your say on that? Can everyone afford an architect and interior designer?
It's a very broad question, I
Yeah.
would say. I think like there is always, I don't know how to put it, but there is someone for everyone.
Okay.
So, you'll always find, for example, if I go to a doctor,
Right.
I have doctors with 2 years experience to surgeons with 25 years experience.
Correct.
But a person who's sick
Right.
has to go to a doctor, right? It's
For
a
sure.
necessity.
For
Now, whether
sure.
he can afford it or not afford it
Yeah.
is probably dependent on whether he goes to that 25-year one, to a government hospital, to, a private, like a Reliance, or in
Right.
fact, a really, a really experienced doctor might also be doing charity work.
Right.
So I think all the scales of spectrum exist even in our industry.
Okay.
And if a client is really looking for professional advice,
Right.
Yeah.
he will get it.
Okay.
So, and obviously you have to define your capacity, that this
Right.
is my
Yeah.
spending capacity, and then you choose accordingly.
Choose accordingly.
I mean, you can definitely fight your own battles.
Yeah.
I could just go online and study law and become a lawyer and fight my own cases, but would you do that? No. Similarly, and I think what is important is you need the reason why everyone's done that, not just course or work, is because now we're gaining that experience,
Right.
and you want to get something better.
Yeah.
You take the advice and work with someone who'll
Who does
probably
it
show you a
professionally?
picture of what
Right.
A Pinterest
you would not
is-
expect.
Yeah,
Is
of
it
course,
going to
of
be
course.
a happy association? May not. I mean, it could not. I mean,
Yeah.
there are always ups and downs, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you cannot or you should not work with another profession.
So we move to another segment called the rapid fire round. It's not rapid. You kind of think about it, and of course we are hoping for different answers. So are you all ready?
Of course.
Cool. The first question. If your design studio had a theme song, what would it be?
Chaya chaya.
Chaya
Hands
Chaya.
down.
Why?
It's party in the house.
Okay. Chaya Chaya.
Or is it because of her? It's Shah Rukh Khan.
You got it, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
the connection.
It's a bro code.
Whatever came to my mind first, I just said it. Why chaya chaya? No, don't ask me.
I asked you why Chaya Chaya.
It's just a
It's-
happy song.
Okay. For you, ma'am?
If you had a theme song,
Yeah.
we will rock you.
Nice. Motivational. And you party song.
It's Bollywood.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Oh. Nice. Cool. What's the weirdest source of inspiration you have drawn from for a project? Weirdest source of inspiration. I think he'll be having this for sure.
For sure. Out of the box.
For sure. And sometimes they're not like, they just turn weird later. They may not be initially the weird source.
The weirdest source of inspiration for me was, we were doing this retail store in Varanasi,
Okay.
and so this was when we just really early started on. So we used to go to wherever we used to stay.
Right.
The retail store was on the first floor.
Okay.
Break, go down, and have chai in a cooler. So you get the
Okay.
cooler, you'll drink it, and you should throw it down, and you should throw it down till it breaks, like literally.
Okay.
And there's a heap of clay that happens,
Right.
and then they recycle it.
Okay.
So after the store was done, the clients like, बाहर से कुछ खाली खाली लग रहा है, क्या करना है?
Okay.
So you're like, पता नहीं क्या करना है. So we're having कुल्लड़. तो I asked the contractor, कुल्लड़ ही लगा दे यार, दीवार पे बहुत बोर हो गया अभी. कुल्लड़ लगा देते हैं, चलो.
Okay.
So he's like, चलो सब करके देखते हैं. So we
Okay.
stuck 2 kullards on the wall, and it started looking nice. So the entire wall, like there's glass,
Okay.
then there are column, then glass, and then column, right? On the columns from top to bottom, we stuck kullards.
Oh.
Literally, before the
That's
opening.
actually cool.
Overnight,
That's
we
nice.
stuck kullad,
Okay.
had a spotlight on it, so it created a nice effect on the wall, and that's it.
And for you,
Okay.
ma'am? Weirdest source of inspiration.
Weird is the. So weird, I'm not sure, but maybe some interesting ones. For
Okay.
example, like, and this was like in conversation with one of our clients, we had to design a screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were discussing, what should we put on the screen, and we were going to do like a hand woven screen with a
Okay.
designer and make it something really interesting, create the entire screen from scratch, custom design it.
Okay.
So we were just having a conversation, chit chatting, and then she was talking about her wedding card.
Okay.
And then we were talking about the motifs and all that we
Yeah.
put. And then she said that on her wedding card, they have this motif of the,
Right.
the pitchwai, the lotus.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
these are the things that they really find precious. And we were like, why not we take that? Because we
Okay.
love the pitchwai. There was a
Yeah.
pitchwai that was going to be right next to the screen.
Okay.
The wedding card motif, and we said that we create that, and the entire design graphic was then created out of that concept. That it's a memory of their wedding card as well as like the pitchwai, and then we created different designs based on that. So not weird, but a very
Interesting, sweet
Thought.
something.
yeah, more of a very sweet memory that turned into a great thing.
Yeah.
So I think
You know,
that was
with
fun.
you remember that for Pizza Express when
Oh,
we
yeah.
did for
Oh,
Pawai.
yeah.
So we were doing the design,
Okay.
and this was not even the design. This was the concept presentation to the client. Okay.
Okay.
And we're like, we're doing this. We want to do this. We want to do this. We want to do this. And the client's like, it needs to have some theme or something like that. And I, for some vague reason, just remembered that when you're driving down from Pawai, right, from JVLR, cross
Powai,
Pawai,
yeah.
and then you go into Hiranandani, you see these wires, right, electric wires,
Yeah.
poles, and then pigeons sitting on top.
Right.
Correct.
You have that, right? Like
Yeah,
that.
Correct,
yeah,
correct.
So I'm like, I said, Ki, why don't we do something like this? Like you driving across Pawai and you have these wires with pigeons sitting on top as a light feature.
Oh.
Okay.
And he's like, cool idea, let's do it. And I'm like, oh shit, we should do it. So we actually created that. We have
My God.
wires with lights and cutouts of white birds sitting on top.
It's actually there in the Pizza Express in Pawai till up to couple of years
Couple
ago.
of years back till they renovated it. I
Till they
think, yeah.
renovated it now.
So you said that as
Crazy.
a.
It was just whatever it came in your mind.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
mean,
So sometimes
worked.
like, yeah, because then when you're developing it, it turns into something fun. And then of
Yeah.
course we
Correct.
developed the bird on a wire as
Right.
like a
Correct.
creative, and we actually turned it
Yeah.
into a metal rod, and then we did a.
If your design style were a flavor, what would it taste like? Why did you look like that?
because he already has the answer.
What?
You first.
Coffee chocolate.
Oh.
strawberries and cream.
Nice. I think that's a good combo.
Yes.
Cool. Name one design trend you wish would make a comeback.
One design trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we have neoclassical coming back in as a trend.
I think everything is just going to come back. So there is no point of relying on a design trend. I think it's just a whole cycle.
Okay.
The design sort of evolves, then you go back, you reminisce the past,
Right.
revive that again you go back the whole cycle, and you keep going more and more. So I think there is, so I think that for me, trend is something what is personal to you, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I think if you look at what is today
Right.
and what will remain is not a trend, but what your trend is
Right.
what defines who you are.
Correct.
There is no trend that you have to follow.
Right.
You are your trend. So I don't think there is something that I want something to revive.
Okay.
It's whatever is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, again, like I said, trend for me is a very ambiguous word.
Right.
He gave the reason, but I would say, like, yes, if there was something that, how, I guess, when there was nothing in terms of resources and how things were built when we didn't have resources out of natural things.
Right.
I think we are sort of going back with that cycle. We are going back to nature, asking for, natural sort of answers.
Right.
So I think that is not just in design, it's in fashion, it's in clothing, it's in cars. And I think because I would say the earth is shrinking and probably, the land is getting over, all of that is happening. We have to find solutions.
True.
And so I would say that's the only thing that is going to have to stay, because, not because we would love to do it, but we are going to fall short of things.
So design trends have evolved because of the need of the hour.
If your job title were a superhero name, what would it be?
Mom.
Mom, okay.
I think a mom is a superhero.
That's
Any mom.
actually very good answer.
Yeah.
How can I even answer that after she says that?
Yeah,
really,
you wanted
just
You already lost.
I can't say dad.
Every company should
Clearly,
also
dad
have.
is not a superhero.
You can't fight this also now. No,
I don't
but
want to.
if
Good?
if your job title was a superhero,
I don't know. Okay, is there any superhero who could do everything at one time? I think that's someone like that.
Dan.
you have to give us an answer.
Well, my favorite superhero character is Iron Man. So I would say
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Okay.
I think we had a lot of Iron
yeah,
Mans.
we had a lot of
in the
Iron Man.
podcast. We had a lot of Iron Man.
Okay. So
But
Iron Man.
why
because-
Iron Man?
I think Iron Man because, I mean, the Iron Man how he becomes Iron Man, or for that matter, I mean, because he was put in a spot,
Right.
Yeah.
he becomes who he is.
Okay.
And with whatever he's built, he realizes that he can do something better with what he can.
Okay.
I mean, with all the wealth and the money in the world, I mean, he chose to build something which is better for humanity, right? So,
Correct.
Nice.
and he defeated
Huh?
the bad man.
Okay. Good. Last question from my side. Then Shansa is going to ask you some juicy questions.
Oh,
A secret no one knows about each other.
a secret no one knows.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
secret or a talent no one knows about each other. You have to tell the world. What is that secret or talent?
He's a really good stand-up comedian.
Is it?
Now the world knows.
You're exposed now.
Shit, ये नहीं बताना था.
Now you have to reveal her secret or talent.
My secret is giving out secrets.
You know, Shilpa is like an open book. Everybody knows Shilpa inside out. Even, I mean, sometimes I don't know things.
Okay.
Okay.
Other people know. So I'm like, what? She's hopelessly romantic.
Oh.
And it's very difficult for me. Very pressure is,
Cope up.
That's true. Not a lot of people know that about me. So.
Nice.
Nice.
Hopelessly was a added word. कुछ नहीं होना है.
मेरे लिए तो वही प्रॉब्लम है ना, कुछ नहीं होना है.
If your designs could talk, what would they say about you? Any one character or anything like
Anyone character?
maybe some characteristic about
What would they say about themselves?
Yeah.
about you, yeah.
About you.
About you guys.
My design would have looked back at me and say, what the hell have you done to me? Why? For what?
He's
I
saying
mean,
it out
like,
thinking
yeah.
for the client.
You bhai?
Stand-up comedian, sorry.
Ah. Now he's open to the world, right?
No, I just have to, now if you laugh, I could just say, oh.
Oh yeah, stand-up comedian.
Would say, show me the money.
Oh, bling bling.
Nice.
This is just for the hamper she's doing.
Of course, why don't you know that?
Cool.
Evil.
Okay, cool. Moving on to the next. If your designs were a fictional character, who would they be in a TV show or maybe some movie?
Calvin and Hobbes.
Ooh, nice.
You stole my answer.
That's the point of rapid fire.
Yeah,
Another buzzer
suddenly it
next
became rapid.
Yeah, suddenly it switched.
Shilpa, I'm feeling very hungry right now.
I think my design's gonna be the suit lawyer.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice.
nice.
She took time, but she got a good one.
Got to have that personality. Come on.
Yeah.
The designs.
Hamper. जा रहे हैं?
Yeah.
Totally.
We are on, I think he's got 4.
Yeah.
She's got 7 now.
So she's got it all, boss. I'm
Okay,
not
cool.
even claiming.
Oh, is
Ah. Okay, so if your designs were a board game,
it? Yeah.
which one would they be?
Sapsidi.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
ये हमारा पहला आंसर था.
This
Yeah,
was
this
like,
was the first
yeah.
one, the first podcast.
Definitely
we
Sapsidi.
did.
Chadna hai, girna hai. You
Snake
have to
and
climb
ladder.
back. Keep getting dropped. You have to keep going back up.
Monopoly.
Monopoly. I think season 2, everyone
Season
has
2,
said
Monopoly. Season 1 was
क्योंकि
Yeah.
सब bankruptcy होते हैं उसमें. घर कोई और ही बना के लेके जाता है.
so true, so true.
The Cayman Islands are elsewhere.
क्या?
If your designs were a musical instrument, what would they be?
Piano.
Black
How
and
this
white.
rapid fire became so
Yeah.
fast.
I mean, like black and white.
No, not black and white. I
A
think
lot
just,
of keys, tunes.
why piano? I think it's just, I mean, I find the, I mean, although my music taste has evolved now over time, but I just find the piano as a musical instrument very, very, very soothing.
Okay.
Oh.
And it's calming. And I think it has, I think like any other music instrument, you can really play it loud or mellow down, the
Right.
tunes. I think just as a musical instrument, I just really correlate with that instrument more. Whereas in my younger days, it was the electric guitar. So
Okay.
it has changed.
That's why Backstreet Boys.
I don't like Backstreet Boys.
He absolutely doesn't like it.
You hate it.
Yeah, I was a complete metalhead in
Oh.
college days. So there's no
Oh.
Backstreet Boys.
And for you, ma'am?
Nice.
The musical instrument?
Yeah.
I think it would be a violin.
Violin, nice.
Yeah,
Soothing.
I think it's just calming,
Yeah.
soothing, just transports you elsewhere, and it can work by itself. So
सेपरेट रूम्स होना चाहिए.
मेरे को लगता है आज के बाद थोड़ा बीच में एक कांच.
Piano room, violin room.
Piano, violin. Cool.
Okay, cool.
To sum it all up, we always ask the architects one advice you would like to give to the design fraternity. What advice would
we
that
can't
be?
advise the design fraternity.
Maybe to the young architects
Yeah, or
who
the
are
upcoming.
inspiring to be an architect, or they are just graduating
Yeah.
from the architectural. So what
would
advice
that
would
advice?
be from your end?
I'm the one who's looking for advice all the time. What advice will I give? I'm always picking up the phone and saying, what do I do now? So,
I just think like he's saying, you're constantly learning.
Yeah.
So just at any point of time, don't think I am done
Okay.
and I know it all. There
You
is
always keep
always going to be something new to learn.
Right.
So just keep that avenue open.
Yeah.
Keep asking, keep questioning, be honest,
Right.
and just be ethical.
For sure.
I think these few things and you're sorted. Yeah, rest they are all very smart. They don't need any advice.
How about you, sir?
I would say ditto. I mean, match same to same. But no, I think if I have to give advice
Right.
for the I definitely learn a lot from my peers, each and every one of them that we are associated with. And now, we meet because of events, because of all these, we meet so many fraternity and people from the fraternity and people who cater to a fraternity. There's so much to learn from them. I learn from them almost every day of my life.
Okay.
And I think that is something that the younger generation or who's aspiring has to just come up to ask question and say, how can we be better? Or what is the mistake that you did? And I think there's so much to learn from what mistakes we did. I would probably ask my senior and say that, listen, how can I do this better?
Yeah.
Correct.
What would I do? How can I get a better project, bigger project? How can I do this? What do you think I should do? What will it take for me to do this? So I think it's the same thing for them, but nobody asks that question. It's like she said, I just know everything, boss.
Oh my God.
That's not how it is. And I think that is something that needs to change.
What do you think about our experience center, about the Luxe offices? Once you came in, what was your honest feeling about the whole area?
I think the space is nice. It's a beautiful space. It's very well designed. I know who's designed it.
Yeah.
And kudos to
Manish
Manish
Dixit,
Dixit as well. Oh. And I think more than the space, I think it's also the different spaces that are created within the area.
Yeah.
But from a options perspective, there's so much to see that sometimes even I'm lost. Like I went from here, I said, हाँ ये project में ये use करता हूँ, चल ये use करता हूँ. By the time I came here, I'm like, dude, no, I don't know what I should use also, because there's so much. I don't know what I can use, and it's just phenomenal. There's a lot over here that there is to offer, and I think there's a lot that can be done.
Yeah.
And I think you have a lot of empty space that we can really do some fun stuff here.
And final question, how was your experience on KYAD?
Oh, it was really good, yeah. I think it was fun, it was very casual, and I love the fact that it was so impromptu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't like the questions you asked the other guys. Thank you. The biggest thing about a podcast is how honest you are, and what if there's anyone who will watch this will gain something from it. And I think
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
the
little bit
whole-
of something that anyone can gain from this. I think it's great.
And I think what this helps is, getting into somebody's life journey. Everybody has their own journey, right? And
Right.
it's like how you read some books, and you kind of learn that this person did this. So
Yeah.
these are the possibilities, and so many more things can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just knowing about anybody's life journey, I think somebody can sort of gain out of it. So I think it's been fun overall.
Yeah.
I loved all your rapid fire and the game questions.
Whisper challenge.
Whisper challenge. I was like, what is this whisper challenge?
And the winner.
And the winner.
Winner to मैं हूँ ना?
Of course.
So what if I get all the words right? It's still you.
It's still.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.